What's up, everybody? It's Carl with Haunt 365, and today we're going to be unboxing and setting up the 7-foot Guardian of the Gourds animatronic that just came out here from Home Depot for the 2025 season. Let's not waste any time. Let's open them up, see what we got. We've got the right and the left base support labeled A and B, the right and the left leg support labeled C and D, the right and the left leg foam covers labeled E, the hip support structure labeled F, the center support and the control box labeled G, the costume labeled H, the right arm labeled I, the left arm labeled J, the first part of the walking stick labeled K, the second part of the walking stick labeled L, the third part of the walking stick with the crow topper labeled M, the pumpkin head labeled N, the hat with the straw hair labeled O, a little baggie of cotter pins labeled P, and the adapter labeled Q. So now that we've got all the parts and pieces out of the box, let's start putting this guy together. We're gonna start off with these two base supports. They're labeled A and B, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna just click lock these two together. Now we're gonna take the two leg supports. They're labeled C and D, and we're just gonna click lock each of these into that base right there. Now we're gonna take the two leg foam covers labeled E, and we're gonna just slide each one down each of those legs there. So don't make the mistake of sliding these all the way down where the feet would typically be. This guy doesn't even have any feet. You just want to kind of slide it down right around that knee joint area. Now you're going to take the hip support, and what you're going to do, you're going to just click lock each of these into each of those legs. Now you're going to take the center support with the control box. Same thing, you're just going to click lock this right there. Now you're going to take the costume and you're just going to drape it over the body that we've already assembled so far. Keep in mind there is a cord for the IR sensor that you're going to want to hook up to the control box. Now we're going to take the left and the right arm. We're going to just slide each one of these arms up the sleeve. Towards the shoulder, there's going to be some holes, and if you look, you've got these kind of notches here that you're going to kind of slide this down into those holes. There is also a spot in here for that cotter pin. So once you have that secured to that shoulder area, you're going to want to put a cotter pin in there. That way it kind of holds it into place. Then one thing you're going to notice is the bottom of this right hand, it has like a nub, and in the top of the left hand there's a little hole. You're going to kind of put that nub into that hole. That way it looks like the hands are kind of pressed together. Now we're going to build his stick. What we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom portion of the stick, and that's labeled K, and we've got this kind of middle portion that's labeled L. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of put these together like so. If it'll go, there we go, and then twist. Then we're going to take this top portion that has the crow at the top, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to kind of go like this and then twist that on. So now we've made his kind of walking stick. One thing you'll notice is in the back of the crow, there's this hole, and there is a nub in the bottom of his hand that'll go into. Also at the bottom of the staff, there's a little hole here, and in the front of the metal base, there's kind of a little pole sticking up, and you're going to set this down into that, and then you're going to put his hand right on top here. Now you've got the head. If you look, you've got this kind of weird thing here at the bottom, and there's a hole up here in the shoulder area that's just going to kind of set down into. I don't know if it really locks into place or anything, but it should hopefully stay. And then there is a cord here that you're going to want to hook up to a cord here over by the control box. Lastly, we've got this hat with the straw hair, and what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of set that on top. If you look right in this area, there are some Velcro strips that you're going to use to kind of secure that up there. And then you just might need to move some of the straw around so that it doesn't look like he's got too crazy a hair. All right, so last thing we got is the adapter that we're gonna hook up to the control box and plug him in. So this guy just came out here for the 2025 season here at Home Depot. His price was $129, which is really kind of that opening price point for animatronics. And he was made by Pan Asian. He's 7 foot tall. And if you need the box dimensions to make sure that you can fit it in your vehicle, I've put that in the video description below. He does come with 5 spooky phrases. Let's go ahead and check those out.
Ah, I sense the presence of unsuspecting souls. Step closer and embrace the shadows that dwell within. Your fate is sealed, for you have trespassed into my domain. Ah, the night is alive with fear. I can smell it in the air. Come closer. Let me feast upon your terror. You cannot hide from the darkness. It claims all who dare enter my realm. The winds carry whispers of doom. Can you hear them? You have entered the garden of despair, and you shall never leave. Soon you will belong to the shadows, just like the others before you. Step forward, foolish mortal. Your curiosity has sealed your fate. I welcome you to the land of eternal night. The shadows hunger for a new soul, and they will not be denied. Ah, I see you've wandered too far this time. The darkness knows your name now. It is waiting for you. Once you enter, there is no escape. You are mine forevermore.
So for $129, this guy's actually pretty awesome. I think this is a huge value for an animatronic. I love the face. The face is awesome. I love that the eyes light up. I love kind of the detail with the pumpkin and the teeth. The one thing that I'm not really sure how I feel is you can see there's a light like in his mouth that kind of, as he's speaking, it kind of flashes and you can see the light. I don't know how I feel about that because it's almost too bright. It almost needed to be like a warm light, kind of like the eyes, so that it wouldn't be as noticeable. But I like that the mouth moves. I do love the sayings that he has. He's got 5 sayings. The sayings are great. His clothes are nothing to really get too fired up about, but he does have this kind of cape, which seems to be caught up. There we go. He's got this cape that is kind of cool. Kind of gives it a little bit of a different feel, considering the rest of the fabric isn't really anything exciting. I'm not sure. There was a hook on the top of his head that I'm not 100% sure what the point of that hook was. I don't know if it's one of those things that you can kind of like have him hanging up somewhere where he's not in full animatronic form. I don't know. The head, I am a little nervous about. I don't know if it'll stay on long term, considering it just kind of pops in and it was pretty easily removed. It kind of popped out pretty easy. I didn't love that. You know, he's got this stick, and that I wasn't really super impressed with though either, because this part kept popping out. You can see it's already starting to pop out again. It doesn't want to stay. And then his arm keeps coming out of his socket whenever I mess around with that. I will say though, for $129, this is a great value. I think he would actually pair really nicely with the Pumpkin Twins that came out a few years ago. So you'll have to let me know how you're planning to utilize this guy. Are you using him in a theme? Are you pairing him up with the Pumpkin Twins, kind of making it almost like a pumpkin family? So you'll have to let me know your thoughts. It almost looks right now, actually, he's like eating his hair. So there you have it, the Guardian of the Gourds, fully unboxed and assembled. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Also, if there's any animatronics that you'd like to see me do a video for, throw it out there in the comments. I'll see what I can do. Until next time, happy haunting. Cheers.